Hey, today we're doing the CHIJ St. Nicholas Girls' School P5 WA3 paper. Okay, now let's start off with question one. Find the area of the figure. So what you want to do is split this into a figure A and figure B. So for figure A, how to find the area? Your base will be here, which is 4 units. So as you recall, the formula for area of a triangle is half times base, which is 4 units, times your perpendicular height. Now, since this is a slanted triangle, your perpendicular height will be here, like this. It stops here. So this would be 8 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So half times 4 times 8 will give you 16 cm squared. Then for figure B is a rectangle. It's just 3 units times 2 units, which is 6 cm squared. So total will be 16 plus 6. That will give you 22 cm squared. Okay, let's move on to question 2. Okay, Angeline paid $310 for 4 music lessons. At this rate, how much did she pay for 18 music lessons? So write down 4 lessons will be $310. So go and find one lesson. It's 310 divided by 4, which is $77.50. So to find 18 lessons, you just simply multiply $77.50 with 18. So 77.50 times 18 should give you $1,395. Okay, now question 3. Now question 3, there are many ways to do this question. So they say Shobana had 1.2 kg of flour at first, right? After using all the flour, she could either bake 5 similar cakes or 60 similar muffins. Okay, so how I would do this is you write down 5 cakes is equivalent to 60 muffins. Okay, so in the end, she just baked 1 cake and 12 muffins. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert everything to muffins. So 1 cake is equivalent to 12 muffins. Okay, so she baked 1 cake and 12 muffins, right? So this 1 cake, I can convert it into 12 muffins. So write down 12 muffins plus, don't forget to add this 12 muffins. You'll get 24 muffins. So her total is equivalent to 60 muffins, right? So if she used 24 muffins worth of flour, she'll be left with 60 minus 24, which is 36 muffins worth of flour. Okay? So right down here is left. So all you need to do is just write this down. Now 60 muffins is 1,200 grams. I just converted 1.2 kg to 1,200 grams. Go and find one muffin. It's 1,200 divided by 60, which is 20 grams. So she has 36 muffins worth of flour left, right? So just go and find 36 with 20 times 36. You'll get 720 grams. Okay, now let's move on to question 4. What is the total height of Devi and Jamila? Round your answer to the nearest meter. So Devi is here, Jamila is here. Just simply add them up. So you want everything to be in meters, so write down 1.54 meters plus 1.35 meters. 1 meter, 35 cm is 1.35. So when you calculate this, you get 2.89 meters. Now, when you want to round off the nearest meter, this is your nearest meter. Look at the next number is 8, right? So when you round off, you should get 3 meters. Okay, part B. They tell you that the total height of the four girls is 5.9 meters. What's Kate's height? Leave your answer in centimeters. So what you want to do is convert everything to centimeters. 154, 135, and this is 140. This one here will be 590. So let's write down 590. Subtract these three numbers, 154, 135, and 140. You'll get 161 cm. The Kate's height is 161 cm. Okay, let's go to question 5. Okay, question 5, pie chart. What fraction of the highlighters were red? So let's go and find the percentage of red first before we convert it to fraction. So take 100%. The full thing's 100%. You subtract 42%, subtract 25%, and subtract 15%. You will get 18%. So 18% is basically 18 over 100. And when you simplify it, you'll get 9 over 50. So that's part A. Okay, part B. There were 120 highlighters altogether. How many green and blue highlighters were there altogether? Okay, so total is 120, right? So green and blue highlighters, green is 25, blue is 15%. So you can write down 25% plus 15% is 40%. You just have to find 40% of the total. That's your answer. So 40% of the total means 40% times 120. You will immediately get your answer as 48. Okay, now let's move on to question 6. Okay, when you're doing question 6, make sure you label your working when you're writing it out, okay? So, tank X is 3/4 filled with water. Tank Y is empty. Now, the water in tank X was poured into tank Y until tank Y becomes full. How much water is left in tank X? Okay, so first step, write down water in, so I'll do my working here, okay? Water in tank X equals to length times breadth times height multiplied by the fraction of water it has. Type all this in your calculator, you'll get 86,400 cm cube. So you're going to pour water until Y becomes full. So let's go and find the full capacity of tank Y. So tank Y equals to length times breadth times height. You'll get 9,900 cm cube. So how much water is there left in tank X? You poured out this much. So what's left will be 86,400 minus 9,900. You'll get 76,500 cm cube. Okay, 6B. The water left in tank X, which is 76,500, was used to fill up some 650 ml of bottles completely. There was not enough water to fill up the last bottle. How much water is required? Okay, so first let's go and find how many bottles can you fill up. So you take 76,500, you divide it by 650. Okay, 76,500 divided by 650. Okay, this is what I want you to do. Okay, you're going to write your answer remainder. So at the side of your working, just write down in mixed fraction 117 9 over 13. Now the technique, how do you use your calculator to extract the remainder out? Okay, so 117 you can write down as 117 means the 117 fully filled bottles. Now remainder, it's what you need to do is in your calculator you type it as a mixed fraction, you get 9 over 13, right? Okay, now observe 9 over 13. You divided it by 650, right? So make sure you change your denominator to 650. So you times 50, on top you times 50, it'll be 450. So you convert your fraction to like this. Make sure your denominator is the number that you divided it with here. Okay? So you see your numerator now, 450. That is your remainder. Okay? So this remainder is actually the last bottle where the water is filled up to 450 only. Now the capacity of bottle is 650, right? How much water, how much more water do you require? 650 minus 450. That will give you 200 ml. So how much more water is needed to fill 200 ml? Okay, question 7. Let's go and try question 7. Okay, Mrs. Lim paid $13.80 for parcel A. What was the mass of parcel A? Okay, this one is quite easy. Just take $13.80 and you simply divide it by $6.90. Mass of parcel A is 2 kg. Done. Okay. Okay. Now, parcel B had a mass of 4.7 kg. How much did Mrs. Lim pay for shipping? So when you split 4.7 kg, right? Okay. The first 3 kg, you'll be charged like this. So this is your first 3 kg. Then you're left with 1.7 kg. So show your examiner that you're splitting 4.7 into 3 kg and 1.7. So your first step. Okay, I won't have much space to write below, and I need the table above. So I'm going to do my working here, okay? So for part B, the first step, you take 4.7 kg minus 3 kg, you get 1.7 kg. Okay? So 3 kg will be this one. The 1.7 kg will be charged like this way, okay? So now once you're done, right? Okay, let's go and target the 1.7 kg quickly. How many 2.9, how many $2.90 can you extract out of 1.7 kg? So you just take 1.7 kg. You'll be charged for every 500 grams. So divide by 500 grams. You can either take 1,700 divided by 500 or 1.7 divided by 0.5. You will have 3 with a remainder of 200 grams. So what does thereof means? The 200 grams will be charged and treated like your next 500 grams. So this one also you have to pay another 2.9. So in total, you have to round up to 4. So what I'm doing here is I'm finding groups of $2.90. So there are 4 groups of $2.90. So now we can calculate how much is being charged. First one, 6.90 times 3 kg. Because every 3 kg is 6.9, right? 6.9 times 3 is $20.70. Next, you got 4 groups of $2.90. Take 4 times $2.90. You'll get $11.60. Add these two up now. You get $32.30. That's your answer. Okay, the shop owner had a total of 480 black, gray, and white shirts. 1/4 of the shirts, which means here it says the shirt is 4 units. 3/8 of them were gray, so then 8 units, and the rest were white. So shirt is 4 units, shirt is also 8 units. So what's a common multiple of 4 and 8? It is 8 units. So this 1/4, change it to 2/8. Okay? So then you start drawing a model straight away. Okay, then you cut your model into 8 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units. Okay, so black will be 1/4, which is 2/8. So label this as black. Next one, gray will be 3 units. So the rest will be white. Okay, so this question says some white shirts and half of the black shirts were sold. So you do not know the white shirts that were sold, but you know that half of the black shirts were sold. So part A tells you a total of 198 shirts were sold. How many white shirts were not sold? Okay, so let's write down everything first. We have 8 units, that's 480. Go find 1 unit, which is 480 divided by 8, and that is 16. So I'm going to find out black and white first. So black is 2 units, which is 60 times 2, and that's 120. White will be 60 times 3, which is 180. Okay, so to establish this first, now they say half of the black shirts were sold. So black sold is 120 times half. You will get 60. So in part A, you tell you 198 shirts were sold, right? If 60 of them were black, white would be, so write down white sold will be 198 minus 60, which is 138. So white not sold will be, just take total of white minus 138. You will get 42. The answer is 42. Okay, part B. The owner bought another 40 black shirts. How many shirts did the owner have in the end? Okay, so this one, very easy. Owner start out with 480, right? Sold 198, and then he bought 40. So just take 480 minus 198. Then he added back 40. He's left with 332. Okay, question 9. Okay, question 9. Let's go and fill up the table. So what's figure 7? Okay, so if it's figure 7, go and find the intervals. So each of these intervals is filled up by the number 5. You see that? So take 7 minus 1, you'll get 6 intervals. Okay, so one interval is filled up with the number 5. So I have 6 of these intervals. It's 5 times 6, which is 30. Which means from the number 7 till here, the difference is 30. Filled up by all of these 5s. So add it to the first number, 7 plus 30, you will get 37. So write that down, 37. Okay, so this is method number 1. Method number 2 is if you can see that, okay, they took 1 times 5, then you plus 2, 2 times 5, then you plus 2, 3 times 5, then you plus 2. So here you can take 7 times 5 plus 2. Also can, okay? Because it's a pattern question. However, I will recommend this one. Okay? For this number is very easy. These numbers are all multiples of 2, right? So 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 2 is 6. So here we 7 times 2, which is 14. Okay. Let's do part B. So Alan made a figure with 26 triangles. Okay, so let me write down the table for you at the side here. So there is figure 1, that figure number, toothpicks. I just put toothpicks and then triangles, okay? Okay, so figure 1, 2, 3, 4. Then after that, you have figure 7. So I write 7, 12, 17, 22, then 37. 2, 4, 6, 8. So this should be 14. Okay, so Alan made a figure 26 triangle. So the number here is 26. What's the figure number? So trace back, go find a figure number, simply 26 divided by 2. The answer is simply 13. Okay, next one. Alan used 72 toothpicks. How many triangles did he make? So I'll do part C over here. So for part C, they give you this number here, 72. Your job is to go and find how many triangles did he make. So the plan here is using the 72, I'm going to find the figure number first. After I find the figure number, when I multiply it by 2, I'll get the number of triangles, okay? So let's go and find the figure number. From 7 all the way till 72, there's a difference of 65. So this 65 is made up of all of this 5 that sits in the gap, okay? So take 65, divide by 5, I'll find out 13 gaps. So if there are 13 gaps, what is the figure number? 13 plus 1. The figure number is 14. So if the figure number is 14, how many triangles are there? 14 times 2 will give you 28. Because when it comes to triangles, just multiples of 2 from here. 1 times 2, 2 times 2, 7 times 2, right? So it's 14, 14 times 2, 28. So the answer to part C is 28. Okay? All right, that's all.